mainly through drawing. Yes, as you see from this picture, a little bit of scope to write some words, and these talking about experiencia and sensorial and authentica and significant. My Portuguese got worse over the years. So experience, sense, authentic, significant. So what you want is at the start of the process for the e-commerce platform development is to draw the big opportunity for you. And the best pictures are ones that express emotions really powerfully, as this one does. So the emotions are the roots of the food in the ground, in the experience of Recife is as a slave city, and the food having that experience of quite poor food, but food that the slave communities energized with flavors, with spices, making the most of the food that they had and creating a legacy of food that's handed down now as a gastronomic experience. In fact, you're always looking towards completing in around about 3.5 hours. And for stage one, you're doing it as a group. You're trying to get everyone drawing. You're trying to get the session very energized. And then stage two is typically a bit shorter. Stage two, you're looking at the target customer market. So stage one, opportunity, overall opportunity. What we're trying to create with our e-commerce platform. And stage two, a little bit similar to how we discussed in Business Model Canvas. Who are we doing it for? Who's the target? Who's the target market? And again, we're drawing it as a group, and you will stick your drawings, your pieces of flip chart on the wall next to each other. And typically a group will have flip chart 1 there, and they'll go to put flip chart 2 next to it. And I'll very theatrically say, no, put them separate. And the reason we put them separate is we're looking to demonstrate how through stage 3, we're going to bring that opportunity through to that target market. So this is stage 3. Stage 3 is how might we bring those opportunities to those target markets. And this is where we move from group tasks to individual. We have individual post-it notes, quite small, felt pens with quite big tips to them, so you can't get too many words on each post-it note. And you fill the wall with different ways in which how might we, this is a standardized design thinking task, how might we bring this opportunity to this target market? And you want lots of these. So again, I think 30 minutes as a guide. If people run out of steam, encourage them. If people still haven't got the energy to do more, then sum up. But what you want people to do is then vote on their favorite way of, in this case, operationalizing the opportunity of the e-commerce business platform for the target markets, and to think about the ways in which you can best do that. So you maybe have, you maybe get people to put 5 crosses across the post-it notes. They can go all on one post-it note, they can go on separate ones, the ones that they think are the most pressing ways of taking this project forward. Or certainly in UK stationery covers, there's lots of those sticky dots still, little red circular dots, so you tear those up so people have got 5 of those, and vote. And if the vote is dead heated, you will have to appoint a decider, a person who can decide which one is the task that you take forward, which is the way in which you build out that e-commerce platform. And then you scope it out in a little bit more detail. So you storyboard it as if it was a comic or a film strip. And sometimes people do this sequential. So stage 3 was an individual task. Stage 4 is back to a group task. This might be the journey as you move through the e-commerce platform. This might be different facets of the e-commerce platform. What you're seeking to do is demonstrate more fully what that product will look like. because at stage 5, and this is probably the longest stage, I'd try and get everything else done in 30-minute segments. So you've got time for an hour for the last bit, which is the prototyping, and maybe a little bit of time to sum up next steps. So this is frugal. If I'm facilitating a design sprint session, then I'm filling the room with cardboard, with boxes, with knitting, with random objects so that people are forced to use their creativity. And this is a Black women's business development agency who are looking to and did develop a TV marketing campaign. And this, of course, is the TV presenter. But you can be frugal at this stage. I'll have said all the way through the design sprint, keep devices away, concentrate for this 3 hours and 30 minutes on the task in hand. But for stage 5, I will let people use laptops and phones, jump up into the cloud, collect different resources, and you'll see those different resources on the next slide, which is a film the students made, collecting the music, collecting the titles in less than the hour, being frugal, using their lunch as the characters for a film, and with me wondering at lunchtime why they were drawing faces on their lunch. And I guess the only other thing I need to say to you before we watch this clip is that the Plastic Cups are business mentors. So this was a campaign to encourage creative entrepreneurs to get business mentors and to work more effectively. And they wanted something quirky to take out into different rural settings and to engage with people quite differently and therefore effectively. I think the final thing I probably need to tell you about this film is there's a phrase in English which I haven't heard anyone use for a very long time, which, and I don't know how it arose, but in essence, it means don't be stupid. And people used to say, don't be a nana, don't be a banana, don't be a nana. And in Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, there is the same phrase, apparently. So let's see if we can get this to play. My cursor's in exactly the wrong place again, but I think we're going to go now. There's that design sprint book. Here's the brainstorming part of the design sprint. The sad entrepreneur. This, of course, is business model canvas in Portuguese. So that, for me, emphasized the creativity of the design sprint process that was done in an hour and the creativity of design thinking. So let's move to conclusion and key takeaways, and Aldi can give you my details in case you want to ask more. So design thinking for me is a key approach for addressing challenges and creating innovative solutions in learning, innovation and enterprise. So it emphasizes and is based around empathy and collaboration and iteration. So we're looking for user-centric, human and community-focused outcomes. And what I'm suggesting is that design thinking principles and playful pedagogies are ways in which we can engage with communities and your communities of artisan coffee producers and the management, and drawing on their experience to provide really, really inspiring solutions. So I look forward to hearing as to how you've got on. And I suspect I said visiting professor in innovation and entrepreneurship. And if I did, I should have said visiting professor in entrepreneurship and innovation. However, it's been my pleasure to speak to you. And apologies for the couple of times that there was glitches with the slides. However, if I come off sharing, then it's my pleasure to have presented to you, and I look forward to the next time that we do it. Thank you, Aldi. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, colleagues.